Hello students, how are you all? Are you fine? I, Dr. Lal Babu Jaiswal, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Commerce, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, India. I am going to present the numerical problem of total income, numerical problem of gross total income. In the previous class, we have discussed about the deduction under chapter 6A, deduction under section 80C2, 80U, section 10AA was presented by me before dear listeners and dear friends. So dear students, tax planning having a chapter 6A deduction, tax avoidance also having a deductions under chapter 6A. Deduction, rebate and exemptions are the part of the tax planning and tax avoidance. In the previous class, we have discussed about the section 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, 80CCD1, 80CCD2, 80CCD1B, 80D, 80DD, 80DDB, 80G, 80GG, 80QQB, 80RRB, 80TTA, 80TTB and 80U along with 10AA. All are discussed by me before all of you regarding to the provisions of tax deductions. So with the help of these types of deduction, we are able to discuss, we are able to solve the question of numerical question of total income, numerical question of gross total income. Dear listeners, dear friends, it is my humble submission before all of you. This is a very important topic to find out the taxable income, to find out the volume of the tax. So dear students, now we are going to discuss the question of total income as well as computation of volume of the tax. Dear students, this slide represents the computation of total income regarding to the chapter 6A. So dear students, regarding to the total income, the gross total income as reduced by the above deductions under the chapter 6A and section 10AA of total income. So we can say total income is equal to gross total income minus under deduction under chapter 6A and section 10AA. Dear students, this types of total income should be round up to the nearest multiple of rupees 10. Tax is calculated on total income of the assessee. Dear students, the main meaning of these slides, the main theme of these slides, the main objective of the slide to present the total income. Total income is equal to gross total income. Dear friends, attention please. Total income is equal to gross total income minus deduction under chapter 6A and section 10AA. This types of total income is round up multiply by 10. Suppose 5 rupees total income is coming, so then it will be converted in 10 rupees. Less than rupees 5, it will be left. So dear friends, dear listeners, this types of income should be round off to the nearest of multiple of rupees 10. So dear students, with the help of the deduction chapter 6A and section 10AA, I am going to discuss, I am going to solve the numerical aspect of the total income. Dear friend, this slide represents case 1 regarding to the total income. Mr. X, age 52 years, is employed with ABC Private Limited on a basic salary rupees 50,000 per month. he has received transport allowance of rupees 15,000 per month and house rent allowance rupees 20,000 per month from the company for the previous year 24-25. He has paid a rent of rupees 25,000 per month for an accommodation in Delhi. Mr. X has paid interest of rupees 2,10,000 for housing taken for the construction of the house. This in the Mumbai. The construction of the house is completed in March 2025 and his parents live in that house. Other information: contribution to public provident fund rupees 1,50,000, contribution to pension scheme referred to section 80 CCD rupees 50,000, payment of medical insurance premium for father who is age of 79 years rupees 55,000, payment of medical insurance premium for self and spouse rupees 32,000. Compute total income and tax liability of Mr. A for the assessment year 25-26 in the most beneficial manner. Most beneficial manner का मतलब which types of regime will be benefited to the assessee, either optional tax regime or new tax regime. New tax regime is also called default tax regime under section 115 BAC subsection 1A. So dear friends, in this question the salary income and house property incomes is included along with the various types of deduction under section 80C, 80D and under section 80C and 80CD and under section 80D. So dear friend, in this question, basic salary 50,000 per month, basic salary 50,000 per month. So basic salary 50,000 per month for 12 months 6 lakh rupees. Transport allowance rupees 15,000 per month, 15,000 per month, 12 months का 1,80,000. House rent allowance, dear friend, house rent allowance is given in this question 20,000 per month from the company previous year 24-25. House rent allowance HRA, in the case of HRA is the part of partially taxable allowance. बच्चों please, HRA is the part of partially taxable allowance. Under the partially taxable allowance, at least of the following three amount will be exempt from the tax under section 10 subsection 30A or rule 2A. Dear students, first is actual received amount of HRA, second rent paid minus 10% of salary means, and third is if the house is situated in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai, so then 50% of the salary means. If the house is situated in other place, so then 40% of the salary means. Dear student, we also know in the case of computation of HRA, salary means basic pay plus dearness allowance plus dearness pay, dearness allowance if under the terms of employment plus fixed commission based on fixed percentage. This is a part of the salary means. This is a part of the salary means under the computation of house rent allowance. So now I am going to represent the solve slide of this question case study first. So dear student, we can say first we should write the computation of total income and tax liability of Mr. X. Mr. X for the assessment year 25-26, for the assessment year 25-26 under the default tax regime section 115 BAC. So dear friends, this is the question which is related to the assessment year 25-26. We know assessment year is the year in which tax volume is paid on the income of the previous year. So in this case, basic salary 50,000 per month for 12 months. Basic salary 50,000 per month for 12 months. So for 12 months 6 lakh rupees is coming. 6 lakh rupees is coming. So 6 lakh rupees is called total basic pay, total basic salary for the year. Transport allowance given in the question 15,000 per month for 12 months 1,80,000 for 1 month for 1 year 1,80,000. HRA received is given in this question 20,000 per month, 20,000 per month for 12 months. Dear students, 20,000 per month for 12 month. So in this question, in third line, HRA is given. HRA is giving 20,000 per month, and in this question the information is given in this question, the house rent allowance 20,000 per month from a company 2024-25, and in this question the construction of the house is completed in March 2025 and his parents live in that house. तो his parents live in that house. तो Mr. X age 52 years, employed in a company, basic salary 50,000 per month, transport allowance, house rent allowance is not exempted on the basis of partially exemption, because here it is assumed the assessee is living in his house. If the assessee is living in his house or living in his parents' house or living in a relative house where no any types of house rent, no any types of rent is giving, so then entire amount of house rent allowance will be taxable under section 10 subsection 13A. Attention please, if the rent of house where he is living is not given by the assessee at all, so total amount of HRA will be taxable. No exemption will be given under section 10 subsection 13A. So total amount of HRA is 2,40,000 will be taxable. So dear student, basic salary 6 lakhs, basic salary 6 lakh, transport allowance 1,80,000, house rent allowance 2,40,000. So total will be called gross salary. Gross salary rupees 10,20,000. So under the gross salary, standard deduction will be minus under section 16 subsection Roman 1 small a, it will be rupees 75,000. So 10,20,000 minus 75,000 is equal to 9,45,000. So 75,000 is the standard deduction. 75,000 is the standard deduction. And 9,40,000 income from salary. So dear students, 9,45,000 is the part of the gross total income. Income from house property. Dear student, interest on housing loan. Dear friends, it is my humble submission before all of you regarding to the house rent allowance. House rent allowance is also not exempted in this question, because this question is solved on the basis of default tax regime. Under the default tax regime, no amount of house rent allowance will be exempted under section 10 subsection 13A. We can say in other words, in the case of default tax regime, the exemption of house rent allowance has been withdrawn. Section 10 subsection 13A has been withdrawn. To show total amount of HRA will be taxable in this question. Before it, generally I have said at the time of solving and explaining this question previously, that if the house rent is not paying by any assessee at all, so then entire amount of the house rent allowance will be taxable. But in the question, the main point is the question is solving under the default tax regime, under the new tax regime. So under the new tax regime, the house rent allowance which is received by an assessee will be taxable at all. No amount of exemption will be given regarding this. Section 10 subsection 13A. So standard deduction is increased by the government of this country from rupees 50,000 to rupees 75,000 in this year from 1st April 2024 to 31st March 2025. that this question is solving this question is computing on the basis of assessment year 25-26. So show this in this question 75,000 standard deduction has been taken, because this question is solved on the current rule basis. So now I am explaining regarding to the income from house property. In the case of income from house property, loan is taken for the construction or repair or acquiring of the house property. If the loan is taken for the construction or repair or reconstruction of the house property, so then it is generally said to 20 rupees 2 lakh will be exempt, rupees 2 lakh will be exemption under section 24 subsection small b. But this question is solved on the basis of default tax regime. So under the default tax regime, self occupied house property interest, मतलब इंटरेस्ट ऑन HBL, इंटरेस्ट ऑन हाउस बिल्डिंग लोन इज नॉट डिडक्टेबल, अंडर सेक्शन 24 सब सेक्शन स्मॉल बी. तो सो इंटरेस्ट ऑन हाउसिंग लोन इज नॉट टेकन एट ऑल एट द टाइम ऑफ सॉल्विंग दिस क्वेश्चन. तो टोटल इनकम विल बी कॉल्ड income from salary. Total income will be called income from salary. So income from salary in this question rupees 9,45,000. So dear student, it is the question where we have solved under the default tax regime. So now this question is also I am going to solve, I am going to dictate, I am going to explain under the optional tax regime, under the old tax regime. So under the old tax regime, so this slide represent the such types of deductions which are given in this question under chapter 6A. So under chapter 6A, 80C, contribution to PPF, 80CCD, contribution to pension scheme, 80D, medical insurance premium for self and parents are not taken at all, because these types of deductions are not taken over at the time of computation of the total income under the default tax regime, under the new tax regime. So show in this slide no deductions under chapter 6A is taken, has been taken at all. So total income will be rupees 9,45,000. 9,45,000 total income will be rupees 9,45,000. So dear students, now this question is solving with the help of the old tax regime, with the help of the optional tax regime. So first of all, we should write the computation of total income and tax liability of Mr. X for the assessment year 2025-26 under the normal provision of the Act. Case 1 is question first. So basic salary will be basic salary is 50,000 per month. So for 12 month, basic salary for 12 month rupees 6 lakh. Transport allowance 15,000 per month for 12 month. Transport allowance rupees 1,80,000. HRA received 2,40,000. It is given. So this question is solving under the optional tax regime. Under the optional tax regime, at least of the following three amount will be exempt under section 10 subsection 13A. First amount, actual received amount of HRA. Second, rent paid minus 10% of the salary means, and third is 50% of the salary means. Because 50% of the salary, attention please, 50% of the salary means is taken in this question, because the house is situated in Mumbai. If the house is situated in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai, so then 50% of the salary means is taken. So in this question, 50% of salary means is taken. In the case of 50 salary means basic pay, DNS allowance if under the terms of employment, plus fixed commission based on fixed percentage are taken. So in this question, HRA, this first point is HRA received. First point is HRA received. Second point, actual rent paid minus 10% of salary. So actual rent paid is this question. Actual rent paid in this question is given rupees 3 lakh. Actual rent paid rupees 3 lakh. 3 lakh minus 10% of salary. So salary means in this question only 6 lakh will be taken because salary means basic pay is given rupees 6 lakh. DNS pay is not given, DNS allowance is not given, and fixed commission based on fixed percentage is not given. So then we are explaining only basic pay is given in this question. So 6 lakh, 10% of 6 lakh rupees 60,000. So 3 lakh minus 60,000 is equal to 2 lakh 40,000. So first amount is actual amount of HRA. Second amount is 2 lakh 40,000 rent paid minus 10% of salary, and third amount is 50% of salary. So 50% of salary 6 lakh ka 50% 3 lakh. So at least of the following three amount, at least 2 lakh 40,000. So 2 lakh 40,000 HRA received and 2 lakh 40,000 HRA exempt. So then no amount of HRA will be taxable. No amount of HRA will be taxable. So gross salary in this question 7 lakh 80,000. Gross salary in this question 7 lakh 80,000, and standard deduction will be taken rupee only 50,000 because this question is taken. Question is solved under the default under the old tax regime. So 7 lakh 80,000 minus 50,000 is equal to 7 lakh 30,000 is income from the salary. In this slide, income from house property. In the case of gross annual value, in the case of self occupied house property, gross annual value being annual value will be nil. Only deduction will be deducted under section 24 subsection B, under section 24 subsection B up to rupees 2 lakh. So 2 lakh will be called as a loss from house property या income from house property in minus figure. So loss from house property and income from salary are adjusted to each other. So then gross total income will be treated as a 5 lakh 30,000. So gross total income 5 lakh 30,000. Out of gross total income, the deduction under chapter 6A are deducted. The first, contribution to PPF, it is a part of the contribution to PPF, it is a part of the 80C, and 80CC D1B, it is a part of the contribution to NPS, and 80D Mediclaim restricted 25,000 for self and spouse life, and for father house, our father age is more than 60 years, so then maximum deduction up to 50,000 are taken. So then 25,000 and 50,000 will be included. So then finding value is 75,000. So 1,50,000 plus 50,000 plus 75,000, then 2,75,000 will be deducted from the gross total income. So then finding value is treated 2,55,000. It will be total income under the normal tax provision. So on the basis of both types of calculation, we are able to say under the normal provisions or old tax regime, the assessee will be benefited, because in this case the tax volume and tax liabilities are less than the new tax regime. So on the basis of this calculation, on the basis of this computation, I suggest to assessee should opt the old tax regime or normal tax regime, because tax liability will be reduced. So then with the help of this calculation or computation, dear students, dear learners, I am able to say, I am able to discuss, I am able to suggest the solution, and where the solution is taken by all of you on the basis of this computation. So dear friends, dear listeners, dear learners, I am going to discuss with the help of the second numerical question, which is called the case study second. So dear friends, case second. From the following particulars, furnished by Mr. A for the year ended 31st March 2025, you are required to compute his total income for the assessment year 2025-26, assuming that he opts out the default tax regime under section 115 BAC. Under section 115 BAC, shifting out. Opt out default tax regime means shifting in old tax regime. So Mr. A, in this question, Mr. A is retired. Mr. A retired on 31st December 2024, 31st December 2024, and age of 58 years. After putting the 26 years and 1 month of service from the private company at Mumbai, he was paid a salary of 25,000. He was paid a salary of 25,000 per month and house rent allowance of rupees 6,000 per month. He paid rent of rupees 6,500 per month during his tenure of service. So at the time of taking the amount of HRA, he is also paying rupees 6,500 per month as a rent. On the retirement, he was paid a gratuity rupees 3,50,000. He was paid a gratuity rupees 3,50,000. He was covered by the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. 1972 is not given, but Gratuity Act is 1972. Mr. A had not received any other gratuity at any point of time earlier other than this gratuity. So he had accumulated leave of 15 days per month during the period of his service. This was uncashed by Mr. A at the time of his retirement. A sum of rupees 3,15,000 was received by him in this regard. His average salary for last 10 months may be taken 24,500. So dear student, employer allowed 30-day leave per annum. After retirement, he ventured into textile business and incurred a loss of rupees 80,000 for the period of 31st March 2025. Mr. A has deposited rupees 1 lakh in PPF. So dear students, with the help of this question, I am going to discuss the solution of this question. Dear student, in this question, first of all, we should compute the income from salary. So dear friends, so first of all, the income from salary rupees 25,000 per month. 25,000 per month, we can say in this question 25,000 per month is given for 9 months because he is retired in the month of the December. We can say in this question Mr. A retired on 31st December 2024. So Mr. A retired to March, April 2024 from it will be taken to April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So sir, there are 9 months. Yes, there are 9 months. So 25,000 into 9 months is equal to 2,25,000. And second is house rent allowance. House rent allowance means at least of the following 3 amount will be exempt. At least of the following 3 amount will be exempt. First, actual received amount of HRA. Second, rent paid minus 10% of the salary. And third is 50% of the salary means. So in this question, the exemption allowance is computed in next slide under the notes head. Rupees 36,000 has been come. So 54,000. How 54,000? HRA is 6,000 per month for 9 months. 6,000 into 9 is equal to 54,000. So out of 54,000, 36,000 is deducted. So 54,000 minus 36,000 is equal to 18,000. 18,000 will be as a amount of HRA, taxable amount of HRA. So then next point is gratuity. Next point is gratuity. Next point is gratuity. So gratuity in this question, gratuity under the Gratuity Act. Under the Gratuity Act 1972, at least of the following 3 amount will be exempt under section 10 subsection 10 AA. First, under section 10 subsection 10 under section 10 subsection 10 Roman first is related to the employee who is a government employee. Section 10 subsection 10 clause Roman second is related to the non-government employee who is covered under the Gratuity Act 1972, and section 10 subsection 10 clause Roman third is related to the employee who is not covered under the Gratuity Act 1972. So in this question, amount of gratuity is received rupees 3,50,000 and exemption under section 10 subsection 10 clause Roman 2 is given in note second. I will discuss when notes will come. So repeat 3,50,000. So leave encashment yeah, encashment of on leave is also given under the section 10 subsection 10 AA. Actual amount of receipt 3,15,000. Exemption under section 10 subsection 10 AA, it is given under the notes 3. So at least of the following 4 amount will be exempt regarding to the encashment of only. First, actual received amount of encashment, second, maximum limit, and third, on the basis of average salary, the salary of 10 months, and fourth is on the basis of average salary, the salary of not hourly month. So it will be discussed in next slide under the notes head. So then gross salary will be 3,13,000. So I am shifting the calculation of notes slide. So note slide is we can see HRA. In the case of HRA section 10 subsection 10 AA, HRA actually received 6,000 per month for 9 months, 54,000. Rent paid minus 10% of salary. Rent paid 6,000 per month for 9 months, 6,500 into 9 minus 10% of salary means. So dear student, in this question salary means only basic pay is given. So basic pay is 25,000 per month. So 10% 25,000, 10% of 25,000, 2,500. So 2,500 into 9 months, it will be minus. So then 36,000 has been come. And the house is situated in Mumbai, Delhi. If the house is situated in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, so then 50% of salary means will be taken. So 50% is taken in this question. So salary means, we can say salary means 2,50,000, 2,50,000. Why 25,000 per month for 9 month का 25,000 into 9 month, तो 2,25,000. 2,25,000 का 50% of 2,25,000, तो 1,12,500. So then we can say the at least of the following 3 amount is rupees 36,000. So 36,000 is taken as a exemption under section 10 subsection 10 subsection 13A. So next calculation is regarding to the gratuity. So the employee who is not covered under the Gratuity Act, yeah, the employee who is covered under the Gratuity Act. So in this question, employee is covering under Gratuity Act 1972. So actual received amount rupees 3,50,000. Second is on the basis of last month's salary and DA, the salary of 15 days. On the basis of last month's salary and DA, the salary of 15 days into whole completed service period. So dear friends, dear student, dear learners, dear friends, in this question, on the basis of last month's salary and DA is not given. So 25,000 is the salary, 25 for 15 days, 15 by 26 will be applied. So 15 by 26 will be applied. So 15 by 26 into total completed service period. Total completed service period at the time of computing the total completed service period, 6 months, and their part of the month will be converted in 1 year. So then it is 26 years. So multiply by 26 years. So then 3,75,000 will become. And third is statutory limit. Statutory limit rupees 20 lakh is increased by the government now. This time, so we can say at least 3,50,000, the amount which is received, also the this amount is exempt. The total taxable gratuity will be nil. We can see in the solved question we can see in the solved question. So we can see in the question gratuity. So we can say gratuity is exempt. देखिए gratuity we can say gratuity is nil. Gratuity is nil in this slide. Gratuity is nil in this slide. We can say gratuity is nil in this slide. देखिए please watch. Gratuity is nil because the amount which is received, also this amount is exempted. So then it will be fully tax free from the tax. It will be fully tax free from the tax. So then third calculation is we can say the leave encashment. Leave encashment is given under section 10 subsection 10 AA. At least are following 4 amount. Rules provisions are very important. Dear friends, you should pay attention on the rules. Without knowing the rule, without learning the rule, without attending the rule, the question is not possible to solve. So at least of the following 4 amount will be exempt from the tax under section 10 subsection 10 AA. First, actual amount received 3,15,000. Second, I have told on the basis of average salary, the salary of 10 months. So average salary 24,500. It is computed so into 10 months 2,45,000. or on the basis of average salary, the salary of not availed leave month. So not availed leave month in this question cash it is given cash equivalent to unavailed, but not availed unavailed both are same. Leave calculated on the basis of maximum 30 days for the every year actual service rendered to the employee from the whose service retired. So we can say in this slide, so in this slide it is given the calculation of not availed leave month. It is 3,80,500. So then we can say this amount point number 3rd is 3,18,500 and statutory limit now converted by the government 25 lakh. So 25 lakh out of 4 amount rupees 3,15,000 to 2,45,000 is a less amount. So 3,15,000 minus 2,45,000 is equal to 70,000. 70,000 will be taxable amount. In case of encashment of earned leave, we can see in this question rupees 70,000 amount taxable regarding to the encashment of earned leave. So dear student, gross salary rupees 3,13,000. Standard deduction under section 10 under section 16 subsection 1A, because this question is solving under the optional tax regime, rupees 50,000 will be rupees 50,000. So then 2,63,000. Business income is not possible to deducted as per provision of losses set up and carry forward. Business loss is not possible. Business loss cannot be set up against the income from the salary. So it will be nil. So it will be nil. We can say it will be nil. The total gross income rupees 3,63,000. Deduction under chapter 6A regarding to the TC deposited in the PPF. So out of 2,63,000, 1 lakh rupees will be deducted. So then total income or taxable income will be 1,63,000. So dear student, with the help of this question, we are able to say how the total income is computed regarding to the various types of heads like as income from salary, income from house property, income from business and profession, capital gain and other sources. So dear student, if any query, if confusion at the time of solving the question, so without any hesitation you can contact to me, you can call to me. Thanks to all of you for your nice support and listeners.